Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the webinar series we're hosting at Ethereum Greece, when we invite engineers, researchers, and builders, I prefer the term, that they're actively building on Web3. Today with us, we have Ryan Beltran, CEO and founder at ChainCraft. I'm very interested about this one because it blends Web3 and AI, and it has to also do with game development. I have a lot of friends that are actively trying to build their own game, and the platform they are building enables exactly that. So, Ryan, the stage is yours.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm building ChainCraft. Basically, the idea is that you can build games, but not just build games. Actually, have a economic layer to it, so you can earn from them. By really leveraging the blockchain and utilizing like items and item sales. And there's really just with those components, you can do a lot. So yeah, I can go deeper, but I'll just leave it at that for a second. Or do you want me to just continue and I can just keep talking? Okay. Okay, I will go even further.
Yes, yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. Go as you like, and guys, feel free to interrupt and ask questions. It's up to you, Ryan.
Sure. I'll go a little bit further. So we started this a couple years ago, just when AI was really picking up. We built it with my friend Matt, who is a veteran in the game space, and with Eric, who is just an amazing AI, a developer, full stack developer, but also just has such a great background and depth with AI. And we've built it, just like many of the other AI game builders out there, was just like, hey, like, can we make it easier for ideas to come to life? But I had this blockchain background, my co-founders did not. And it really just lent itself, like it felt like this missing ingredient to where blockchain could really activate this idea and also make it low friction for non-blockchain natives to participate as well. So like, for instance, games already have item-based economies, or like free to play games where basically the revenue model is you make and earn, the platform or the game or the creator earns from selling items. And that's been a big part of like how do we not just build a platform, but have there be incentive, like what's the next step? There's a lot of AI game builders out there, but they don't really lead you into like, okay, what do you do with that game? How do you earn from that game? You're kind of left alone with that. And we inherently have this idea of, if we build this model where you can have and sell items, you inherently can have a sort of flexible but DIY way of how you make revenue. So like items are very, items as NFTs, but I'm just going to say items because this can pretty much be done without thinking of blockchain. It's all the plumbing underneath, but it's really something that is approachable to anybody. Like for instance, when you sign up, we use Third Web, similar to Privy, where you could just use a social login, create a profile, and start creating. And so newcomers will not even notice that they have a wallet created. They'll just know I have an inventory. So we kind of carry that ethos of low friction, simplicity. What is the wider market going to think of this, and how to just reduce that friction? Another way we reduce friction is just all on browser based and very friendly to mobile and very multiplayer friendly. So all those things already there also differentiate us from other platforms out there as well. You can instantly come in, make a game, and invite somebody to test it out, play with you. And currently it's in beta, kind of closed beta, word of mouth. There's still a lot we need to add to it. And it's text-based right now because we can really do a lot without really getting into really complex graphics. We can just like imagine what the graphics would look like or imagine what the next stages of graphics would look like. So we're really focusing on the engine. And we have two engines right now. One is the game creator that you talk to build the game, and it kind of guides you through it. And then the second engine actually simulates the game so you can play it. I'll stop there for a minute if you have any questions or thoughts or want to know more about something specific.
Yes, I have one. So I understand that you are tokenizing assets that has to do with the actual game, but do you consider tokenizing the game itself? Is it an asset that is also sellable? So for example, if I'm a creator and I create a game, do I have a market, like an economy on top of my game? Like I can sell it to you, for example? Or is it something that the community does not want? Like what's your input in that?
That's a good question. So you are free to, well, for one, when you make a game and you mint it, it's in your wallet. You are your profile is attributed to having created that game and that game spec. Actually, yeah, let's see if I can just, well, before I jump into it, I will answer your next question. So can you sell the game itself? In a way you can. We're trying to focus on the item model. So what you could do is you can say, here's a token, you bought this game, you have full access to that game by holding that token in your wallet. So it's very similar, actually, than like on Amazon Prime, you buy a movie, or on Apple TV, you buy a movie. They just basically give you the license to watch that movie. Then you don't own that movie in a way. But in ours, you actually own a token that gives you access. So it's very similar in that way. And also long-term, we want the creator to be able to pull the game out if they want to take the code and take it to Steam or take it somewhere else, so we don't have to lock it as a walled garden. So I hope that kind of answers your question, is because we're starting with items, I think you can get creative with items. Like I said, like unlocking access to a game. But I really think, at least my thoughts are, suggesting going towards item sales maybe as a way for revenue. For instance, our first game category that we really want to get into is TCGs, like card games, because it really lends itself to items. It's a very well-known space. You could have a deck of cards, but what's kind of interesting and a little bit extra depth is you can make a game here, use this deck of cards, but the way our platform is set up is you can allow somebody else to make an expansion pack or something to do with the same cards that you've created. So it kind of expands the possibilities of what you can do. It can also be a double-edged sword. Like, we're being very cautious that, like, you know, if we open this up too much, we don't want too many items flooding the market either. So there's this balance that we kind of want to work out as we grow. But we like this idea of collaboration, creativity, with the guardrails being items to start. Yeah.
I see. So we can imagine it like the basis is some items that they have some properties and they are living like NFTs on the blockchain, and then other creators can come, pick the ones they like, and they're creating their game on top of what is already commoditized to some sense in an exchange, right?
Yeah, and we're going to try to see if like the creator of a game can allow that or not. But because it's blockchain, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's just already allowed if you own something. So it's going to be a little bit of interesting to see how and what plays out in that way. But we do like just having all these elements available to the creators.
I see. And can you help us understand a little more where the LLMs, the AI part, steps in this game development? Yeah.
Sadly, Eric could not make it today, so he could go further in depth. And if ever you have more questions beyond this, you could ask us or join us in our Discord. So currently, the LLMs, basically what they do is they create different artifacts that will be in charge of different parts of the game. We're actually moving towards something a little bit more modular, where when you create a game, it'll be broken up into components, and agents will work on each one. And this is kind of also helping us as we build games, to reduce token usage and reduce going back and editing and fixing. Like right now, when we create a game, the LLM creates a game spec. And when you need to edit or update it, the whole game spec gets re-edited or remade. So that's more tokens. And we're in the process of moving that to a modular framework where, say, I just want to change the introduction phase to the game. It's not going to change the full game spec. It's just going to change that first part of like how the game is started, or something specific like I want this to be 4 players instead of 2 players. So that's the route we're going with how it's set up, and then the simulator reads that spec and plays it back to you. I'm actually going to show you because it's a little. I'm more of a visual person, so I'm going to show you. This is our beta. Let me see. And again, if you reach out in Discord, we kind of will start letting some people in to kind of check it out. Let's see. So here we are. It's just a home page. You can start a game here by just chatting with it. Here are the games that we've featured. This one's pretty fun. You kind of like, it's a very simple game, and we kind of use this as our game every time we add new features to try and improve this one game. We can keep updating it with new features. 2 players basically battle it out with creating a superhero, and the AI will create a narrative and tell you who won. So it's just a super one-round fun game, a good way to kind of learn how the system works or how the games work. Explore is like all the games that people have created. Let's see. There's a lot of games here. Mostly I've been the one making games. We have chat here so that everybody can kind of chat. You can go to their profile. We really want this to be social and community like based, to not feel like you're just building on your own. You can like get people to come and check your game out. Here are games that I've published. And when you publish a game, it creates this this token that's in your wallet, and it creates this like this cartridge for that game. It generates that. And let's see what else. So unpublished games. So when I'm working on a game, it'll like be here, and you can come and check out where you left off. You can even invite people to come and see what you're working on. Like they can view the game or the editing the game, and they can give you feedback. And each game also is, let me share this one. So here's like an example game. Each game, once it's done and played, it's always there. Like it's saved, and you can go back and watch how the game played out. And there's like a chat for that specific game. So people can like chat and what's it called? Just you can basically have people watch the game as you play it. So this one was a game that, you know, when I have an idea or a new feature, like we added this idea of like, hey, what if we could call upon like token price as being a mechanic for the game? Like you pick a token mon, and whichever one you pick, like the idea was if yours like goes up within the seconds that you picked it versus the other one, which outperformed the other, they might win in a battle. Like just some fun little idea. And this kind of gets you thinking like what kind of ideas you can create on the platform.
Related to this game, I have 2 questions. One for this game. First of all is, so I understand that, for example, you have to fetch the actual prices from some external source. Is this happening agentically, like you pay tokens for every query, or you use the AI to actually write the code that is used like in a predictable manner after the creation of the game?
So what we do right now, that's a great question. So what we do is a lot of the token calls and the cost is up front when you build the game, but once the game is published, it's done, and it won't require extra token calls unless, and this is another interesting thing about our platform, is you can have AI in the game. So like if your AI, if you have like AI narration where it kind of creates a narrative on the fly, it'll be a small token cost, but it won't require a full like like token calls for the whole like coded game. So we're always being considerate of like how much we're spending, how much the player's going to spend, and we're still working on the economics of how to balance that out. So it's not all on our plate, but a mixture of like something that's very friendly for people to come and build without overcharging them. But yeah, so that's the goal, is like always chipping away at how to reduce, like there's so many platforms out there that are just brute force. They say they're one prompt and you make a game. And I you know, you could try that route, and if you like it, you like it. But I feel like every time I do that, it just spends a ton of tokens, and then I have to go back and fix everything because it made so many assumptions of what I wanted the game to look like or be like or play out like. So, and I actually, because I kind of went on a tangent, I can show you like what making a game, like here's like a game I was trying out this idea for. I don't think I got that far in it, but this is like an item forge. Like what if somebody else created a D&D game and cards or items were your abilities, were your armor items, and what if there was like a way to turn them to dust or reuse them as elements or materials? And so I can't, you know, this is just the start of an idea. But you talk with the game, like when you initially start a game creation, and you chat with it, it'll create a game spec. So here's the game spec. It'll tell you what updated. Like another way to save tokens is it kind of chats with you a little bit before it builds the spec officially to reduce token costs. And once you have enough like pending changes as you talk with it, it'll say, do you want me to push these changes to update the spec? And when it updates this spec, then you can go simulate it because it's all kind of put together. So this spec will show you like, this is basically the full game, what the AI needs to run this game. And here's the chat, the designer chat we have with it. And then when you're ready, you can go simulate the game or publish the game. And then you can have this loop. So you go simulate it. You can play as all the players yourself to just advance the game, and then go back and make changes as you see fit until you feel like it's ready to publish. There's still a lot of features that we want to implement here. Again, it's just text-based. We want to move into UI, and we want to have the items be part of the graphics. Like the items will be what you can click on or activate, just as like, I feel like for us a logical next step without overdoing graphics. Like you can maybe have a board or a tabletop as well to play with the game or play with the items.
So one question here. So from what I understand, the game development phase is I chat against an interface like a ChatGPT interface, for example, and I ask it to create rules and everything. Can I also pass images, or for example, have you considered like, for example, Claude can do the narration, but then you can use like a Nano Banana or like Higgstil for the AI image generation. So what happens related to the image generation is like, do I have any control on my end?
So at this, we can get there. At the moment, we have very basic, let's see, where was that? Let's see. So what we have right now is we made a simple image generator, and we use Leonardo for right now. I mean, there's a lot of image generators. And honestly, as we grow, we've tried plugging and playing different LLMs and different aspects of what we have, just for cost and things like that. But we currently have it set up so that you can say, hey, generate an image at every phase. But really that only gets you so far. Like it's kind of interesting to see a image generated for like a dungeon crawler or a battler, and you see like an image. But we're really looking into when we build and generate decks and cards and items, that's where the image generation is going to kind of shine a little bit more, because then you will have a little bit more leeway on what that item's going to look like, the style. But yes, that's sort of the direction we're going.
Okay, one question. If that's okay, could we play the superhero game? so that people can
Let's
see
see,
what we are
sure.
talking about?
Yes. Let's see. Now remember, this is a beta, and
Of course.
things break. We have lately been doing a lot of just focusing on a. Anyway, if it breaks, it breaks. You know how it is. Another thing. I was going to say another thing that we're playing around with is token duels, where you can bet and wager on a game. So here's this enable token duels. I won't do it for now, but we have that. So I'm going to start a game, Superhero Showdown. I'm going to send you the link in a DM.
Yes.
Look, also look, if I do it like this and make it look like a mobile, you can have a QR code, so you can invite. So somebody could have gotten that QR code real quick, but you can do a QR code as well if it's small and it's very mobile friendly. So I will send you the code, or I'll send it in Telegram actually.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to log in.
And you can sign in as guests. So it's like super, you can either create one with social, but we made it so that you have the option to sign up as guests. So it's super like 2 clicks and you have a wallet.
Yes, I already clicked with Google, so I'm in,
Cool.
and I can join the game.
Okay.
Great.
All right. So let me think of what I'm going to pick.
Me too.
Let's see. Don't peek. Let's see. I'm gonna write it over here. Okay. And it should accept anything. You don't have to get over detailed or not. I tend to just do something super simple because I've tested this out so many times.
Yes. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Now I switch to your screen, right? I don't need to be on my. Oh, let me see.
Yeah, you can stay on yours or watch here.
Great.
Ever since we added image generation, and also at the end of this, we added the winner can mint their character if they won. I'm gonna give it a second. I might need to refresh. Oh, it worked. Okay.
Okay.
So, a super cute puppy versus what looks like a dragon. Oh, the winner is the clever flying fire dragon. So it gives you the full like narrative. I'm a super cute puppy with big eyes and a big heart versus I'm a very cute big lizard. I like that you put cute in there and can fly and throw fire. I'm very clever and I work out a lot. I think before I act. Very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, an innocent pint-sized puppy with boundless heart, those irresistible eyes, but facing off a magnificent airborne dragon, brilliant, muscular, competitive, or contemplative. The puppy charges with pure enthusiasm, adorable momentum, but wait, the dragon ascends, circles strategically, flames erupting in calculated waves. The puppy's charm flatters against the inferno, falters. The dragon descends with overwhelming tactical power and raw might. The crowd roars as the mighty dragon claims victory. Brains, brawn, and fire triumph over cuteness. This is great. So the reason I did a cute dog, and this is working out better, it used to be almost like a cheat. Like I had this theory that the LLM did not want a cute thing to die or lose. So it would always win, like a cute puppy or something. But it looks like the LLM is getting better at like making it like there should be a little randomness, a little bit more fairness. So that theory is kind of out the window. On your screen, you should be able to I don't know if you want to share your screen or not, but you should be able to mint the dragon character. Like down here, it should say like, "You're victorious. Do you want to mint?"
Okay. One moment.
If you want,
share my screen. I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I have to reduce this window. Okay, I won the battle. So what do I do now?
Oh no, it doesn't. Can you refresh it? Let's see. It should say it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I can save the character purchase.
And it'll just do it to your like the wallet it just created.
And this address is Arbitrum, right?
Yes. I think it's currently testnet. There you go. There's your dragon that it created.
It looks different though from the visual here, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just it'll generate a token based on the details it has at the moment. Let's see.
Nice.
So there it is. I think if you go to your profile in ChainCraft, let's see. Maybe I can share my screen again.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So like up here, it'll view assets. Here's all the tokens sort of I've like created in the past from winning games. Currently it's just characters, and here it'll show the games that you've created. You own them as NFTs. And this is just a way to also attribute like any royalties or sales in the future to your profile.
Related to regarding those NFTs, so do you just store as NFTs just the visual, or for example, do you store the prompt used to generate something?
The game spec is stored in, to that as well, and some metadata to make sure like it's attributed to you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So like you can tell with that, like there's some things that we're going to add to make it a little bit more interactive and community driven. Like chat is one thing, chatting within and spectating other games, spectating other people building games if they invite you. We want to put some emphasis on players' profiles. We've taken a little bit of from like friend tech back in the day where like, hey, we want you to be able to know that this person is that person if their Twitter profile is attached to it. So there's this sense of just trust of knowing what game you're buying or whose items you're buying, and a little bit of it just helps with that transparency of who's making what game. And like there's so many other little details that we have in the wish list, like far off down the line. But yeah, the next steps for us really are going into TCG, adding more graphics and UI, more interactive, like something that just makes it feel more sticky and fun instead of text, and things like that.
One question a little back from what we're talking now. You had a stake feature that you would stake 10 CC or something. Is this representing, like, for example, I could stake something of monetary value like a bet, and I can play against you in a bet-like way? Is that it?
Yeah, right now it's on testnet. We're still figuring out how and when and if we're doing that. Right now we have no plans of having a token, but right now we have just like a faucet token to tinker around with this so you don't use actual money. So it's just, and we may go into being able to stake your items instead of just currency, so that you can actually wager, like if you're playing a game with a deck, maybe that deck or those cards that you play with, you could lose, like playing around with those sort of ideas. One of my favorite games of all time and really kind of molded me was like EverQuest back in the day, and it was very ruthless and you could like lose all your items. And there's some aspect of that I kind of like, that is like a little PvP, where there's like a little more at stake, but we're trying to balance it so that you're not like bringing in, you know, a ton of USDC and staking that. We kind of want to have this balance of new gamers or gamers that just kind of want to have fun, but not really like lose it all. Or, you know what I mean? Like, so there's that balance that we're trying to work out with this.
No, I understand. This can go bad fast if it gets really bad. Yeah, no, I totally get it. No, I like what I saw. Yes, I agree that it will be a significant improvement if you go to better visuals. Have you considered like creating a terrain, for example? Like, can you basically, when you're talking about creating better visuals, what are you referring to specifically?
Yeah, I think in stages. So like, there's also like long-term, like, you know, maybe our engine can eventually do platformers or things like that, right? But don't even worry about that right now. If you want to do something like that, you could try other systems. But right now, for me, I'm thinking, because we're on a shoestring budget, what can we do and incrementally grow? The next steps for me are basically like leaning into items as being the visuals, the things you're using, the things you're playing. There's so much unlocked with really like every item being represented by what looks like a card. So abilities, items, gear can all just have a very similar, like, the border and everything doesn't have to be the same, but it can just have that card feel. And I feel like there's a lot we can do with that, whether it be like, I want my gear to be these items that look like cards, go into a dungeon, find new loot, and it's all cards. And then, or some of those things may be able to be played in a TCG style like Battler, or vice versa. I think first we're going to kind of mostly, the next steps are focus on like a very kind of simple like dungeon, simple TCG like Battler game where you have a deck. Maybe people can build expansions or other ideas for cards. And then go from there, and then start to expand more on like crossover to other games or other people building for each other's ecosystems and things like that. But that graphics can just be as simple as a tabletop and cards being played on that table, or a mix of like text with graphics that are cards. And then little by little, you can kind of see we can move a little further into like making like a more in-depth game with maybe better graphics, little by little. You know, right now I just think there's so much that you can do with just a TCG already. Like, there's just so much you can do with that, and so that's kind of our next focus. Because some of the biggest games are TCG right now. It's so well known, it's understood. It's very easy to cross over from non-crypto to crypto with this sort of type of game, and we want to keep it kind of low friction and easy for new people to try out.
I see. I have another question, but do you have any other question, guys, here before I proceed with mine? Yes, George, go ahead.
Hello, and thank you for your presentation. What you've told us regarding the point of view of a developer or a crypto affiliate person is very interesting, for sure. Though I'm wondering, how are you going to like sell or promote, whatever you prefer, this to the gamers? Why should a person who is a gamer should pick your idea, since he's going or her is going to lose their tokens and play while paying and not for free?
Okay, so that's a good question. The goal is to make it accessible. So like right off the bat, I think we don't want to just charge you out of the bat, because that's going to be a wall for a lot of people to come in. So we do want to have like free tokens, a token allotment, free amount of like prompt time. We're still working on the economics of that, because we have to be able to sustain doing that for y'all. But our goal, like if money was not an issue, like our goal right now would be to make it as easy for people with good ideas to come and build here, because then we all sort of can win. If like our North Star right now is creators earning from what they create. We want to actually help those creators with good ideas. If they're good ideas, to keep, you know, maybe having like scholarships and grants for those players, or bonuses where they can keep building for free if they're making good content and bringing people in to try it out. And then that should, if our setup is correct, lead them to earn some money from pack sales or item sales, or if they want to sell access to a game, things like that. But right now, ideally, I like this idea of maybe we, to make it easier, build a base foundation of like a card game, and maybe others could create cards on top of that rule set so that they just have to focus on maybe the cards. But anyway, that's getting off topic. We really do want to incentivize or have it be free to build as much as possible within our economic constraints, to find that balance.
Thank you very much.
Nick, go ahead.
Hello. Thanks for this putting this on, by the way. Very, very informative. I've got a question. We're building a game which is, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with, like, you know, fantasy football or fantasy baseball, etc. And we're abstracting away blockchain. You know, it's built on top of blockchain, but it's abstracted away. We're not going to be charging people, and we're not going to be selling items or NFTs. We're actually looking to try and commercialize it through adverts, and wanted to find out if there's any methodology that you're aware of or familiar with or would recommend that can have that connectivity to, you know, ad views, ad clicks, etc., that can keep everything completely embroiled on chain, you know, stable coin payments maybe, etc., but also has that kind of advertisement connection that we could generate within the game itself.
Yeah, I wish I could better answer that question. We aren't using advertisements, so we haven't researched, or I don't have a background in that. So that's really a bit out of my wheelhouse when it comes to applying ads. That's definitely a revenue model that works on many games. I wish I knew more that I could give you a better answer. Yeah.
No worries. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, is there any other question, or should I hit with one? Okay, so I was wondering whether you have went with this like in hackathons, or like have you taken any grants? Because a lot of members of our communities that are like engineers, like for example from National Technical University of Athens, they're actively trying to build, and I would love to check your story and if you have been to hackathons or something relevant, or grants, you know.
Yeah, I will give a big shout out to Arbitrum. We received a Questbook grant from them, about $25K. You can go look at it. And there's also we've got an AI Trailblazer grant for about $2K. This was a while ago. I will say I have always liked Arbitrum. I got into them because of another game project, Senko. We were building on that platform, or on there. They had like a Orbit chain on Arbitrum, and I really like this building in this way, building like on an Orbit chain, and you know, there's a lot of times where people were like, you know, chain is very important with where you build, and it is and isn't at the same time, depending on how you're building. I chose Arbitrum because they do have a great ecosystem, and they really try to help builders, even if it's not funding. I really, especially now, like grants are even harder. Like they're really hard. Just, you know, the space right now is tough. Even for gaming, it's even tougher. It's like another layer of toughness on top of the blockchain market already being tough. But that said, there's still hackathons. Like they have the open house right now, which we are actually part of as well. So keep tabs on them. I know there's other things out there, but they're very chain related, like building on that chain or this chain or that chain. I just like Arbitrum because I know they're going to be there in like 10 years. They've had like a good head on their shoulders, slow and steady. And I like that. I just like by looking at their history and how they've presented and done themselves like in the space. Like, so that's who we chose to build on. And that said, also, I think we're really getting towards this area of blockchains aren't going to be as important because there's a lot more interconnectivity. There's a lot of just like, for me, if a new person who's not blockchain savvy comes, they're not, and they come in and sign up with either Google or their Twitter, and it just feels like just a regular website. I have an inventory, I'm making a game. They don't even know what a blockchain is. Like that's for me, that's a win. It's like, if we can make it as low friction as possible, that's, if you do that, then the chain itself will not be as important because they won't care. It's just the plumbing. And then in that case, go with the chain that has other things that kind of benefit you in your project, like connections. They'll give you shout outs. So that's kind of a bit more to the answer than just grants and funding. But our goal is to try to get a little bit more funding because there's like a gap that we need to get with features.
Yes,
to then
and you also
open up
have tokens. And you also have tokens. So I suppose you eat cash fast right now with all
What's
the
that?
token development and everything. And I suppose you need a lot of cash due to the token costs and everything that you're actively building with.
Yeah, a little bit of that too. So some of it for overhead, and some of it for just building out these extra features to just make our platform a bit stickier.
Can you send me the Questbook link so that I can share it with the community, because some of them might want to see what a good grant structure looks like that got accepted.
Questbook, here's just the main link. I'll post it for everybody in this chat. That's just the Arbitrum one. They recently closed their last, so I don't know when they're going to open it up again, but it's a wealth of knowledge. If you want to go see which ones were successful, like all the information's there. It just is some time to go and look at it, but it's all open to see. You can see who's done what, who was accepted, what the feedback was, whether they completed their grant or not. So yeah, it's all there. And I think Questbook might have other grants if you dig deeper.
If you have, if you can find it, basically, where's your application? Like the one you had?
No, yeah, I can send that one. So let's see. Okay, here's ours specifically. It was for 24K. And you could probably see that there was a lot of evolution from what we initially submitted to where we ended up along the way.
Okay, great.
The cap here was like 50K, but we felt we were not going to get that much. So we tried to do like half that or under half that. I went and took an average of like, what's the average acceptance amount? Like I did my research to really try to see like what they were looking for in their milestones, what might be a worthwhile like amount to ask for. And yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit of chatting with them, and just a little bit of luck, you know? So.
Okay, I see. To the friends of our friends here from National Technical University of Athens, I encourage you to, read this grant application, and then in class we can discuss about it in more details. I will also take a deep dive. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Guys, we have a little more time if we need it. Like, do you have any other question, guys?
I'm gonna also put my website there. If you want to know more, very reachable in our Discord. It's very quiet right now because we're not really marketing and pulling people to our Discord because we don't have much for them to do yet. So it may look like a ghost town in there. But our devs, we're all talking in the private rooms as we build. But yeah, from that website you can get from this website you can get our Twitter and our Discord.
Okay, guys, so we don't have any other question, and I'm also out of questions. In that case, I want to thank you, Ryan. Again, it was a great pleasure having you, and I really liked what you're actually building. I have a lot of friends that they're, playing D&D a lot, and I sometimes join them. And I think it will be gold to have such a product like the one you develop for their campaigns.
I would love to have feedback if people want to come and try it out. Like that is like a mixture of D&D and trading card games. The idea of bringing in a campaign and online, like playing with your friends, if that's what you want. You know, I know playing in person is such a real and wanted thing, but this is just another outlet too, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I will share it with them, and I hope that they like it as much as I do. So I think we can start closing the session. First of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and thank you, Ryan, again for the great presentation. Guys, stay tuned for the next webinars we are hosting. You can find us in itgreece.org or our Discord. One moment so that I copy paste the link here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I found it. You can join us from here. And I also write the site. And stay tuned. We have a lot of more builders that will come soon. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.